You can do drugs, so I figured I'd check it earlier. I checked my chat. I pulled this on and hold on. Give people time to role play. That one is I did have a intro. For some reason, the music plays in my editor, but it doesn't play when it plays either in here or anywhere else. And I keep trying to figure out what's going on. I need to update one of my requirements. I think that's maybe wasn't working. Normally I have an intro, and I'm trying to fix the last I start to do stuff this morning. So hopefully for the next time on the stream, which will probably be towards the end of the week, I think. Maybe Friday. I will have fixed. Yeah. Anyway, well, we haven't finished on that. But, I'm going to move my back workout so I can be here. See you soon. I will post the video up your live result for replay, so you don't have to move your workout around. Thank you, I appreciate it. JP showed similar 70k first time. I don't know who was this the first time here. Somebody said that. Oh, I'm the first. That's 70k. Perfect. Let's see. Also, I'm going to jump into a call. So, have to get replay. But what's good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or morning, evening, afternoon. Thank you, Bolton. Enjoy. Yeah. Okay, we'll do my second. Okay. So this copy, is it? Is it? Hold on. Is it better now? Is it better? I unplugged this. I replugged this. Is it okay now? That sounds good. Hold on, let me try and. It's better now? Yes. Okay. I don't know. It's like I just had to unplug it and replug it in. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I literally tested it as well before I went live. Uh, I am absolutely cursed. I don't know what it is. I will try and see if I can get a different microphone at some point. I suppose. I don't think it's going to make a difference. I think it's just me. It could also be my drivers that I need to update them. That could be that. So yeah, I was just saying hi to people. You didn't miss anything particularly interesting. So yeah. Anyway, I've got my protein coffee here. I actually filmed it, how I made it. So I will turn that into a short so you can see how I make it, which is pretty easy. But in case people want to know how you can make like a drink that's like, I don't know, 150 calories as opposed to 500 calories from Starbucks and tastes very similar, then yeah, I'll show you how to do it. So, thank you all for confirming. We've got Cat Nicole, Winter Machen, Virtual Troll, Riot, Doe-Eyed Donkey, Michelle Barrett, Pelican, Captain Blind, Lisa Take It or Leave It, Blue Moon, Leo Lee, Leo E. Audio's okay for now for me. Good, good. Thank you guys. Ems BGDZX. You know what? Your name really confused me to say that out loud. I'm just gonna say Ems going forward because it's a lot easier. Good morning to Hannah. Let me just move this down a little bit. I think that will be better. So yeah, I hope you all had a good weekend. What did I do? I didn't do much on Saturday. I just did some work and stuff. Yesterday I went hiking and training with Lucy, and then I was very tired. And this morning I had a sports massage, and it was painful. There's just something about getting your calves massaged and like having somebody rub their elbows in your calves. It's not very pleasant. It hurts a lot, but it needs to be done. And it's annoying as well because I don't even really train my calves, but they're always super painful. I guess it's because I walk a lot. So yeah, and obviously when you do a lot of training in general, or leg training, you hit the calves a lot as well. So what goes in the chat by Winter Mention, Denise, hello, hello, Grandstone, good morning, good morning. Rusty Metalhead, AM, I'm down 15 kilos at 5'10", simply tracking my calories and intermittent fasting. Best part though is my half marathon time has gone down from 2.5 hours to 1 hour and 55 minutes. Wow, that's insane. I mean, like the weight loss is amazing, but that's like a really significant improvement in time. That's over half an hour. That's mental. Well done. Very well. That's really good. And yeah, fasting. Like a lot of people ask. I think fasting is one of those things. If it works for you, it works for you. I think if you're fasting, but then it's gonna make you like binge eat, don't fast. But it works for some people. It doesn't work for others. There's some studies out there that say that like it can be like it's. I personally on my rest days I fast as well for the simple reason that like this is for me it's a rest day today because I eat less on my rest days. And if I once I start eating, I just start getting hungry throughout the day quicker. So I tend to just eat, I don't eat until like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. But it's because if I start eating at 7 o'clock, I'm just going to be hungry all day, and I'm going to run through my calories really quickly. So yeah, not that I'm really calorie counting, but yeah. So we have Zacharia Bash Basnya. Did I say it correct? I think so. Yeah. Hello, hello. Anikai. We went to see one of my favorite bands live yesterday. It was great. Oh, that's awesome. Um, Good morning from the USA. Just finished my cardio. Found out my body fat is decreased by 2%. That's really good. 2% is quite a lot as well, actually. The only thing that changed is my eating. I've always trained hard with my running. It's insane. That's a lot. Yeah, like decreasing your running time by half an hour is insane. Bokana saying fasting induces autophagy, which is how your body cleans out debris and toxins from your cells. It is a healthy habit if you are good in health. If you are in a good health, yeah. I think obviously if you're diabetic and stuff like that, you've got to be careful with it. But this is why saunas are really good as well because that's good for releasing toxins. I'm going to have to do it tomorrow because I have so much muscle pain from training yesterday. I was going to go today, but then I ended up having to do other things. But one thing I find that does help me a lot with my recovery and just my general well-being in terms of my joints, but also for my like I like the mental clarity that it gives me is the sauna and the cold plunge. I try to do the sauna and cold plunge twice a week. They have found that if you do sauna and cold plunge, if you do cold plunge right after training, it's not very conductive to hypertrophy. You can do it in the same time in the same day, but you need to leave time in between. But it's usually better to do it on rest days. But if you're not too worried about, like for me, like making gains or having a post-workout experience where I don't feel as inflamed, I try to still do it on my rest days. But for example, tomorrow I'm training and I'm still going to do the sauna and the cold afterwards because I didn't do it today when I should have done it on my rest day, but I didn't get a chance. So it's like, it's kind of like sometimes you've got to weigh out like what's better in terms of like holistic health, not just for the gains. The gains are important, but they're not always everything. Janet, hello, hello. Good to see you. Michelle Barrett is saying, I love watching your channel. I'm 47 and I'm hoping to compete in my first bodybuilding competition in February. I was 175 pounds and now I'm 125. I kept it for 4 years. So you're amazing. That's awesome. And how exciting. You don't hope to compete, just do it. Commit to it. Find yourself a good coach that's in your area, ideally. Somebody that you can work with in person that can see you. Maybe somebody that also has like posing experience because people really underestimate like how important posing and stage presentation is. And just do it. Don't hope for it, just do. So that's awesome. Quotes Alive says Gale Storm, Jesse Boots and Shorts. You need more calories for breastfeeding than you're pregnant. I actually don't know how it works, but I know that for pregnancy, the first 2 trimesters, I think you're supposed to only increase your calories with 200 to 300, and when you're in your third trimester, it's like 500 or something like that. So when you don't actually eat for two, you just increase your food slightly. But I don't actually know what it is for breastfeeding. I do know because I wrote a plan for a lady the other day. And she's breastfeeding, and there's certain foods that they advise against you eating or you consume in moderation, just because obviously everything you consume the baby eats. So there's some guidelines around like what you should and shouldn't eat in terms of like when you're breastfeeding, not necessarily for the calories, but just for like what you could potentially make can make your kid allergic and stuff like that. So considering how warm it has been here, I've been doing sauna after my workouts. Yeah, I still like the sauna even though it's hot here as well. You go outside and start sweating buckets, but it's all right. I'm actually fasting right now, but I'm not actually fasting right now, but I know technically you can. Uh, what is that? Are we still talking about breastfeeding here? I don't know how that works about fasting and breastfeeding. I think I'm not going to comment on that. I haven't looked into that, so I don't know. We got some chat from the one that likes air. Don't we all like air? It's kind of necessary to live, isn't it? Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Ilona, I'm not sure what time you started, but I'm up and I'm here. I started 15 minutes early because it usually takes me around 10 to 15 minutes to just say hi to everybody and just do the general hellos and all of that. And then at 2 o'clock, the reaction will start. Basically, that was my plan. So this is why I started a bit early. But yeah, so you've not missed anything. It's just been saying hellos. Mm. Have you seen how much she's? Yes, I have seen. I thought it was insane that she did a picture of like her baby bump within like a month. It's like your baby is still pretty much like an embryo. It's not even developed into anything. Like you don't have a bump yet. You're just overweight, like more than overweight. But yeah, it's shocking to see really how much weight she's putting on, and it's I mean, like I just really hope for her that everything will keep going well because obviously being obese, it does put a lot of the size that she is, it puts a lot of stress on the body, and I just hope everything will go well for her and her baby. That's all, because that would be a shame, especially if she's been through, some unfortunate pregnancy experiences before. So, yeah, it's kind of like it's still mad to me that you would put on so much weight so quickly, knowing full well that it's just not a healthy thing to do. But I don't know. She's one of those people that I would want to react to, but the way she does her vlogs is that they're very long and they're kind of boring. So unless she does like, and I don't want to sit through a whole video for only to find one bit to react to because it's not from a time perspective, but it's kind of like boring for you guys. Do you know what I mean? If I don't have anything to say, then I'm just sitting there watching a video, and it's like I don't know. So she does it in a she does her vlogs in a quite in a quite good way. That's not English. She does them in a way that they're very difficult to react to, in my opinion. So, but yeah, it's sad. I think it's a shame that she's has gained so much weight, especially being pregnant. So I do truly hope that everything will go well for the pregnancy because she's putting a lot of pressure on her body, and that's not good. It's 2 in the afternoon here, and uh it's 2 in the afternoon there. It's 4 a.m. here. Heading to the gym at 5. Michelle Barris. That's awesome. Yeah, 5 o'clock. I used to love training at that day. Saint Lucifer. Hello. I think that's a good question. I mean, usually you gain weight on your period. You do gain weight. I'm yet to coach a single person that doesn't gain weight around their period. Usually either women maintain or they gain weight. It's very normal. I'm due to start in a week, and I'm due. I'm due like the week after her, and my bump is just starting to show. Yeah, I think is the baby doesn't start developing into like into like and what looks like a human until like what the fourth, fifth month. Before that, it's still kind of like an embryo and stuff, isn't it? So, yeah, but reacting will be hard. Yeah, it really is. The food she's been eating is horrific. I mean, she's always been eating horrific food, though. Do you know, she's one of those people that think she's being healthy, but she's not, and the quantities are just a lot. And obviously, like the 100-pound weight loss, it's not true, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. It happens. Thank you for the motivational content. I watch every video. I've lost 63 pounds, which took a year, and reached my target of 112 pounds. Joined the gym last week to start building back some lean mass. That's awesome, Paul Ace, and congratulations. 63 pounds is a lot. And just might be keep in mind that when you start training, do make sure you eat enough because then what will happen is you will grow more muscle, which means that you will burn even more fat and you will be stronger, and then you will gain weight though. So don't worry if you gain weight. As long as you can visibly see that you're burning fat, it doesn't matter. So one of the things I often tell all of my clients as well, especially if they're looking to recomp or build, like they want to build some muscle, but they kind of want to burn fat. Often in an ideal world, actually staying the same weight is not bad because unless you're like super morbidly obese, then you obviously can lose weight. But if you're like an overweight or a sort of more normal size within the more normal BMI ranges, so to speak, if you're looking to recomp and lose weight, if you don't change an awful lot on the scale, it's not always a bad thing because it could mean that you are recomping, i.e., building muscle and burning fat at the same time. Um, Over time, there will be a weight decrease, but what I recommend people to do is always find something like a dress or like a pair of jeans or some sort of outfit that they like, but that's snug on them now, and then try that on after a month and see how it fits. So just because say like you've only lost say like 2 pounds in a month, but if you can fit on a pair of pants say you couldn't fit in before, you've lost body fat, and that's what matters. The number on the scale is not as relevant. So yeah, does extra muscle really burn more calories? Yeah, is essentially negligible for an average person, particularly for women, as we gain muscle so slowly. I mean, I don't know what study. There is a lot of, I think for studies you can find studies that say anything, but the more muscle tissue you have, uh, the more metabolic you are, because muscle just burns energy. So I think it depends on like how much muscle you put on. Like obviously, if we're talking about like a 2 pound muscle gain, maybe not so much. But my like I am purposely right now trying to stay on the leaner side. I know that I'm still quite low in body fat because I still have, in the right light, I still have some slight striations through my quads. I still have lines in my glutes. So I think my body fat now is probably around like 15%, 16%. But I'm doing this on purpose because it's summer and I kind of want to stay looking like this throughout the summer. Obviously, I'm going to a convention next week. So I'm keeping my calories quite low, which for me on the lower side is around 2,500 to 2,700, 3,000. So 2.5 to 3,000 calories is for me low because of the fact that I'm very active, but I also have a lot of lean mass. Um, I wouldn't keep this sort of condition all year round because it's unnecessary. It's not necessarily unhealthy because obviously like my hormones are returned. I had my period the other day. Like pretty much everything is pretty good. So I'm not too worried about it from that perspective. But at the same time, I could be, if I'm looking to make some gains, I should be eating more. But I think it just depends on like how much muscle mass you have, and how much you're looking to grow. And I think it's an average woman probably doesn't, like, how much do they train, or what intensity do they train, what kind of job do they have, how many steps do they do. It's like if they're looking at like an average American woman, which, like, no offense, but an average American woman is morbidly obese, or obese at least, maybe not morbidly obese, but an average American woman is obese and is very sedentary, that has very poor lifestyle habits and a very poor diet. So, yeah, if they were to gain, say, like 2 pounds of muscle, that's maybe doesn't have the same thermogenic effect as somebody that is really fit and healthy. So I think it's one of those things that a study is, they're interesting, but it all depends on the population, and like you can still you can skew them in any way you want. This is why there's studies out there that say meat is good, meat is bad, vegetables are good, vegetables are bad, this is good, this is bad, because it just depends on like how you want to skew it. But I think it is also individual based. Like I just know for myself and with my clients, the more muscle mass that they have, the leaner that they get, not in terms of like bodybuilding lean, but the less body fat that they have, the harder that they train, the more that they can eat. So, so yeah, that's basically a long answer, and I'm overdue. So let me just move this to the side here. Oh, these iced coffees are nice, but they give you a bit of a dry mouth, eh? Not a dry mouth, but there we go. Let's get into this video. How would you cope with a decent chunk of body fat percentage, like if you had it for a child, for example? I don't know, because I think I don't. I haven't been in that percentage. In that percentage, I haven't been in that situation. Um, but like I never really put on a lot of body fat in my off season anyway. So I think it's within my control. So, I don't even think it's necessary to get, like, I don't understand why people would put on like say 40 pounds in an off season to gain muscle. It's unnecessary. You just need to be in a surplus. So I don't know how I would deal with it, because I'd have to deal with it when I come to the situation, basically. So yeah, hard to say because I've never been in that situation. I haven't been like obese, or I haven't been overweight, almost obese since I was. So yeah, uh, average American falls into the overweight category, not obese. Small distinction. Yes, I did correct myself though. I said overweight, not obese. But yeah. Anyway, let's not slides. What's going on? Present the slideshow then. Hold on, let me do the video. Shared screen. There we go. So let's see what she has to say. Now, I think that she definitely has lost weight. I'm curious to see how much weight she will lose over the period that has been set out, because there is an estimation. But I feel like she's progressing quite well. I'm just still curious to see what she's doing in regards to mental health help. She works with a dietitian, which is great. She has to apparently, from one of the reactions I did a little while ago, is that she needs to veer away from slider foods more. But I can also kind of understand that it might be scary to like eat solid foods after you've had an operation, because maybe you're just like subconsciously scared that you might undo the operation. So yeah, no, I did also correct myself, and I said overweight too. But I said first obese and then obese, and I said overweight. But yes, you are correct. I was wrong. It is overweight, not obese. The majority of people. So, but overweight is still not good though. Anyway, back to April. So, yeah, I'm just curious to see what she's doing in terms of mental health help as well, and we'll just go from there. But did I miss a lot? No, we just started. So, let me know.
Wake Up Right, where I share all the things that help me live each day a little brighter.
That's a good start, isn't it? Let's see.
I am April Lauren.
Oh, that's fucking annoying, isn't it? Why is it not working for?
I beat myself up pretty bad in
So
weight loss surgery. I had the
oh,
duodenal switch.
I can hear her now.
Switch.
Ava's my plug. It's okay. I can hear her now. Can you guys hear her?
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel,
Let me
Wake
know
Up
if you
Right,
can
where
hear.
I share all the things that help me live each day a little brighter. I am April Lauren, and I'm on a journey to lose over 200 pounds. I had weight loss surgery. I had the duodenal.
Can we just like the stream if you haven't already, because it does help me out enormously. And also let me know if you can hear her. We can hear you. Okay, Jenny Downsett, thank you. Thank you for confirming. I appreciate it. Thumbs up. Yes, please do. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's have a look and see how she is doing.
Duodenal switch, duodenal switch with a biliopancreatic.
I'm still confused about how to pronounce it though. Like, I don't know if I'm saying it wrong, but maybe there's different ways of pronouncing it. You know how some words have like American pronunciations and English pronunciations? I would say duodenal, but I could be wrong.
Addict diversion. I think I'm just making things up now. But there's a word, starts with a B, for diversion, and then with duodenal switch or duodenal switch. And I had that surgery 6 weeks ago to the day. So 6 Mondays ago, I woke up and went and got surgery. And
I'm gonna just speed her up to 1.5. She's already on 1.25, but it's still a little bit slow for me. I like her hair, by the way. It's very pretty when she has like the big waves.
It's wild how fast time goes, and I'm really starting to notice changes in my body. I've experienced some pretty awesome changes in my body, like just in my ability to carry myself around, and I am.
Yeah, I think she's lost like 20 or 30 pounds from the last video that I did. After a month or 5 weeks that she lost 20, 30 pounds? You would notice that. That's quite a lot of weight. And just from the perspective of if she's improved her diet, and she's eating a lot more whole foods, because obviously when you gain a lot of weight, you don't do that by eating like chicken and broccoli. You can, but it's kind of hard. She probably ate a lot of foods that is quite inflammatory, and if she's then gone back to a more high protein diet, and less processed food and less, I mean, I think she still eats carbs, which is fine, but like more complex carbohydrates and stuff like that, that's going to reduce the inflammation. So I would imagine that in itself would make your body feel better. Just even if you don't lose weight, just changing around the quality of the food you're eating. And I think this is kind of like calories counting matters. It does, but calories are not calories, if that makes sense. Well, they are, but eating 1,000 calories of fast food and processed food is not the same thing as like 1,000 calories of healthy or whole foods. I should say whole foods rather than healthy foods. But you know what I mean? Like it does make a big difference on how it impacts the body and how it makes you feel. How can you be actively gaining weight and be approved? That's medical negligence. Treat the mental health, and then she's probably needs surgery, seeing as she lost weight before on her own. Yeah, I don't know. I think she probably gets it done through. I don't really know how it works in the US or how you can go about getting it done. Maybe she went semi-private. Maybe it was all done through the healthcare system. Maybe she did a lot of beforehand. What's it called? Like mental health work, like what Amber apparently did last year. But it's she hasn't spoken about it, so that's the one thing that I'm a bit like I just don't understand it, because I'm all for it. I think anybody, if you need to have injections or weight loss surgery, I think it's a great tool, and that's fine. And some people need it. Some people just have more problems with things like willpower and stuff like that, and that's fine. But you do need to make sure that you're understanding why you're eating and not just yeah, you need to undergo the mental health care and make the changes in your lifestyle as well. So yeah, I don't know.
So excited to talk about some of those things, and yeah, I'm just struggling to figure out where to get started. So food wise, I brought.
Yeah, she is such a singer. Some people are saying that she's pretty, and the normal weight, she's pretty for sure. She is nice.
Chicken in at 4 weeks. I think I talked about this. The dietitian said at about 4 weeks I could try chicken thighs, and I think chicken is gonna have to be something I do in moderation. Yeah. I have definitely been struggling with, like, some days I am able to get everything in. It's super easy, and other days it's like I'm force feeding myself, and then I'm struggling with, am I supposed to prioritize like not eating when I'm not hungry, or am I supposed to get the amount of protein in that you said I am? And so I'm very.
Yeah, so this is like, obviously I'm not a weight loss doctor, but I have this with a lot of new starters. For me, when people start on a diet plan with me, I'm yet to have a client that finishes all the food the first week that I recommend that they eat. And I think it's because people are not used to eating high protein and eating a lot of whole foods. And because of that, it just satiates you a lot more. And I don't want people to force feed, because it has to be an enjoyable experience. But at the same time, you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're always under eating. Now, for me, when I coach my clients, which is obviously very different from her having undergone weight loss surgery, I say prioritize your protein above everything. Um, but force feeding, the thing is that she's, first of all, obviously her stomach is like smaller, right? Because she's had that operation done. So I think whether or not she's eating, the portion she's eating is like around like 80 grams at a time. If she misses a meal, it's not really the end of the day. She's not looking to make gains, right? And like, she is obviously overweight. So I can understand you don't want to fall into a habit where you're purposely under eating and purposely missing meals. But if from the dietitian, what they gave her, she has to eat something like every hour pretty much, which is kind of a lot of work, having to eat something every hour to, yeah, it's not daunting or hard work, but it's still like fucking hell, like every hour having to eat something. So I can see how that's like almost like annoying. But I think it's okay if she was to miss a meal. I'm sure that nothing would happen. I think it's more of a problem when you do it on purpose. But yeah, you should prioritize the protein always, really, for the most part. Because I mean, there's enough fat, like, not being horrible, but there's enough fat stores there for energy. So you know, her stomach is so tiny. She must eat protein first. Is all she needs to worry about eating at this point of her post-op. Yeah, I would have imagined that also. And then she was saying before in videos, between the water and the food, and that's, I kind of guess, I didn't think that about that, but obviously like water consumption when it's hot is important. But I don't know how full up you are after that kind of operation. Like, I don't know if you have, like, say, this is almost like half a liter, right? If you're having this much water, does it like fill you up for, like, say, half of this, say 200 milliliters, right? Does that fill you up for like a really long time? So uh, it's interesting. But yeah, I think people sometimes, I think this is like overweight people, or people that struggle with that weight, they seem to worry a lot about missing a meal, but they're never really too worried about overeating, if that makes sense. It's like, it's okay to miss a meal, nothing happens. Just as it is that if you are always really healthy and you make good choices, it's okay to sometimes eat a pizza, as I just like to say. That's fine. That's not going to hamper your progress. It's the same thing. It's like, if you're really overweight, it's okay to miss a meal. Nothing will happen. Don't purposely undereat and put yourself in that position. But it's okay. You're not gonna die. You're not gonna die if you skip a meal, basically, or you miss a meal. I'm glad I never get tired of chicken. It's great, so many dishes and good protein. Do you know what? I like chicken too. I still have. It's one of the things I missed within 2 days of being in Spain. I was like, yeah, I need to start having some chicken again for sure. Um, After to do a dinner switch, her stomach is the size of a fist or smaller. I mean, like, the fist is like, you can still get quite a lot of food in the way. Food takes 2 to 3 hours to pass through the intestine liquid, same because it takes about 20 minutes. I didn't know that, so thank you so much. It must be hard to get 3 liters of water into stomach that size. I wonder if people get dehydrated easily. Yeah, I wondered that too, and I think this is a worry that she had. And initially, I was kind of um, critical of it, but then I was thinking about it. It does make sense, especially when you're in this sort of temperatures where it is hot and you can get dehydrated, and then you're trying to eat. So yeah, it's interesting. But people often confuse hunger with thirst as well. So, but then I think you're probably better off hydrating over eating, because again, it's you know with the size of her stomach, she could probably only eat like up to 1,000 calories a day anyway. So I don't know.
Excited that this week is the week I will meet with my dietitian. I'll be able to ask her, like, should I stop? Because that's what they say, to stop eating when you feel full. And so what I've been doing, and hopefully it's the right thing to do, but what I've been doing is I stop when I'm full, and then instead of having like 3 to 5 meals or eating 3 to 5 times a day, I will split the meals. So I've like put the food in my fitness pal, and so I know that what I've set out to eat will get me the numbers that I need with protein. And then if I feel like full, then I'll just split it. So instead of having it in one meal, I'll have I'll eat what I can, and then like 2 hours later I'll eat the rest. And so it's just, I don't know if that's right, and I am very eager to chat with my dietitian and find out if I am doing things
I'm just not sure why she hasn't had this conversation before, because I'm pretty sure that she's been concerned about this for the last 3 videos that I've looked at from her. So I just don't understand why she hasn't brought this up. Maybe the appointments with the dietitian aren't as often. But I mean, but I would imagine that you can just, like, I don't know, send them an email or ask them. I don't know. It's she's been unsure about this, whether to prioritize food over water, etc., for weeks now. So I don't know.
right. I need to work on not being so
No, I
dramatic,
haven't.
because everything that I choose to do, I'm like, oh no, am I wrong? Am I going to mess everything up? And I'm like, chill, you're not going to mess anything up. Messing things up is going to come when you don't have this level of restriction, because the restriction doesn't last forever. And with the surgery I got, it's not as much of a restriction as like getting the gastric sleeve or another surgery. At least it wasn't with my surgeon. So they don't make the stomach quite as small. That way it hopefully prevents the malnutrition is his goal. So some people get the same surgery that I get.
She doesn't want to bother the dietitian by emailing, which is insane. Is that true? I don't know. Did she just say that? Did I miss that? Because I'm obviously reading the chat and listening to what she's saying at the same time. But I don't know. It's when you're undergoing your surgery, I wouldn't be too scared to like message my doctor, not like every 5 seconds or anything. But this is a fair point to raise. Like, do I prioritize water over my food? Like, and do I prioritize my protein? But she says it soon. Okay, cool. Thanks.
But it's very different because their pouch in their stomach will be quite small, and their common channel is what it's called, will be like shorter. So mine's considering on the longer end, and then the pouch wasn't made as small. I'm not going to break it. I just need to follow the things that they have told me to do. I'm like looking down and like just tapping as if you can see it. But I just need to follow the things that they said to do one by one, and then just let everything else go and not worry so much, because it's not doing me any good to worry. And yeah, I'm going to get my questions answered. And so I'm not going to be off on my own long enough to do damage without being like, hey, is this what I'm supposed to do, or is that what I'm supposed to do? And I always have the option to email. I just feel bad like monopolizing people's time. But this upcoming week.
Yeah, that's kind of silly, isn't it? You've had a really big surgery. I wouldn't feel bad about it at all. This is the kind of stuff that you should be asking, especially weeks in after an operation. If you're still not sure what to do, that's not good. If you're not sure, if you feel like you need to go to a doctor, if you need to advocate for your health, do that. Don't necessarily go doctor shop. I'm not saying she's doing that, but this is a pretty fair question, and like I'm sure they get questions like this all the time. So your dietitian will respond back to you when they can. So yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, weird. I don't think that's a awkward question to ask at all.
Is a week I have been looking forward to for a long time. This past weekend was amazing. It was so good. My friend Shantae is my oldest friend. Having her here, it's weird.
Well, my dad had a knee replacement the other day, and that kept bleeding, and I wasn't right, and he had to go back to the doctors, and they needed to do some work on some of the stitches and stuff. So yeah, you should never feel, if you've had an operation done, you should always, if something doesn't feel right or you're really unsure about something, you should go back and check it and just make sure that everything's okay, because at the end of the day, like, that's what people are getting paid for, right? So
because she knows me so well. It always surprises me. I'm gonna start crying. It's just the most comforting feeling. We've been friends for over 25 years, and so being able to be with someone that you know that well and you love and you care about, and they love and care about you, you just have all these shared. I don't know. It was just special. So happy that she came. Loved getting to spend time with her and her daughters and her husband, and that my husband was here to do it. We had some good times, and I one of the days that we went down to Waikiki, and we ended up walking from one end.
Winter Matron is saying, I could be wrong, but I don't know how it is being a woman with going to therapy and being honest and not always being thankful. And maybe, like, I don't know, because I know that in some religions or some parts of certain religions, like, they're against medicine and other things. So maybe it's not something that they're allowed to talk about in public, potentially, because you are supposed to give up this appearance of like being super happy, right? That's kind of part of the religion. From what I understand, I could be wrong. I don't really know anything about it, besides a little bit here and there that I've seen on South Park and read on the forums, which is like not always reliable information, obviously. But yeah, how old is she? I think she's like 39, maybe 30, maybe 40. I think she's a couple of years older than me. But yeah, 38 or 39. Yeah, I think so too. Something like that.
And to the other, so we just did like this big loop, which isn't the furthest loop, but we also went to the zoo and we went through different shopping areas. And at the end of the day, I had done like 15,000 steps. And I'm just so happy that I can do something like that while chatting. So for comparison, my brother, sister-in-law, and nephew came, and we had an amazing time. I just loved having them here so much. Like, anyway, for comparison, I found myself lagging way behind a lot, and doing it.
I don't, unless I'm watching a video, I don't often watch content of people that I react to on my own. So I have no idea if she talked about it in recent life of depression. Like, I know she struggled with it, and this is part of the reason why she gained weight. So hopefully it is just she has been diagnosed with ADHD apparently. Yes, she has apparently. So yeah, I I just hope that she is working on the mental health side of things behind the scenes. She's just not talking about it for whatever reason. But I think if you're going to also then share your journey like this, which I think is a good thing. You know, it's interesting to see what's going to happen, and I hope for her that she is successful. Obviously, even though like I can be critical of people. I do always want people to succeed. But basically, I think sharing that part of the journey is also important because that is the main reason why she obviously is overweight, is because of she's eating for a reason, right? So addressing that is important too. But yeah, Emily Torrent, ADHD kill your appetite. I lost so much weight so quickly. Someone of a healthy weight to tank my potassium. Yeah, I've heard that. This is why a lot of people like take it socially as well, isn't it?
Because in a way, that was like I kind of slinked back because I knew that I was moving slower and I didn't want to slow anyone down. And I was embarrassed, and I wasn't comfortable, and talking and moving, like when we did even like short hikes, was just not comfortable, and I was a little embarrassed. And those things didn't overshadow the joy that I felt in spending time with them. And we did so much. They were here for a week, and we did so much, and it was amazing. But at the same time, only being a little over 5 weeks out and being able to move so much easier and better, and being able to talk and move, and like me and my friend, we would just be walking and we'd be talking and talking and talking, and then we'd look back and we're like, where did everybody go? Like,
this kind of mad to think that she got to a point where, because obviously I've been reacting to her for a while now, and even though I don't believe she was fully transparent about a lot of things that she did on her previous health journey, she was doing still a lot of it to some degree, right? She was still doing some of the running, she was still doing some of the healthy eating. For her to have gotten to a point where she gained so much weight that she couldn't even walk and talk before, is what she's saying now. That's crazy. That's insane. Like, I wonder, I don't remember if did she say what her biggest was before the operation? I think she said it was like 330, right? Or something like that. It wasn't her biggest when she started her channel, but that's insane. But I think also when you got rapid weight gain, it's just as bad as rapid weight loss. So maybe that's part to blame also. That the weight gain has just been so rapid that, it just puts a lot of pressure on your organs and stuff, eh? So
I was so into like our conversations, or our conversations with the girls even, that we would just, I didn't think about how my body felt. Like, it wasn't a factor. It wasn't something I needed to consider because I just felt good. I had plenty of water with me, and then I brought some protein things with me, so that way I was nourished and didn't feel the need to eat out. We did go out to a place for lunch, and it was
yeah, but she's not as miserable, but that's part of she's very much, it's part of her religion, but she's also very much she wants to be like that fake positivity influencer, a bit like Anna. So, but it's also part of the religion, I believe, that they have to be like that. But I could be wrong. I could be very wrong on that. I really don't know too much about Mormonism, but yeah, that's from what I'm
soup place. So I
saying.
thought I was going to be able to have what I ordered, and then I couldn't. And so my husband got to enjoy. We did go out to eat that evening though, and it was pretty cool to get to share. It's one of our favorite like restaurants here. It's a Japanese barbecue restaurant. My friend's husband had told my husband that like he really wanted to go to Japanese, and then he got there and he's like, oh, I don't know, this menu's all raw meats, because they bring out the meats and then you cook it on the little grill in front of you. I got shrimp, which came in like a little 4-piece shrimps, and I ate 2 of them and was able to share the other ones. It was like a spicy shrimp, and it was so good. And then I got a little piece of salmon. I guess it wasn't an appetizer, but it was pretty small. And then I ate like 2 or 3 bites, and it's amazing to me that I eat that and I am done. Like, I feel pleasantly full. I know that I'm done. I know that maybe I could eat a
Well, at least she's not trying to eat more like Amber, trying to eat her way through her through her injections because she feels like she needs to eat more. So at least she's listening to her hunger cues and her fullness cues, and it's fine. I think the human body doesn't need a lot to sustain to sustain life. This is why people that have Anna, like I don't know, like sometimes they demonetize your videos if you say the actual word. Basically, if you have that, they can live for a really long time and they eat very small amounts of food. So yeah, it's not the end of the world if you skip a meal here and there, but at least she's listening to the full excuse and not forcing her way through it. And that's good, at the understanding, feeling full, and but it's easy to eat past it. But this is also, I think, where if you make good food choices, this doesn't happen as easy. It's really easy to overeat on processed food and fast food because it's been designed that way. If you eat things like whole foods, like salmon and prawns, and other, I don't know, like just whatever, really, like any one or two ingredient foods for the most part, you feel hunger fuller. You feel fuller. You feel fuller quicker. That's all I meant to say. So, but when you're eating like chocolate bars and donuts and things like that, which is like, or even like, for example, this is such an easy swap, right? I'll put this into a short, like I said. But so I have a nice coffee, with protein powder, as opposed to getting like a frappe. Like I like frappes. Don't get me wrong, they're delicious. But again, 150 calories versus maybe 4, 5, 600 calories, depending on what you put inside it. So, but you don't even realize, this is what people don't realize. They don't realize that these drinks like this, not this particular one, but when they go to Starbucks, that it is like 500 calories and they'll just drink it. But it's all of these calories, they add on so quickly. And people just don't realize it. So it's good that at least she is making the right food choices in terms of eating whole foods, and she's listening to her hunger cues. It's not that you have to be perfect or happy, but moments can tend to look for the positive and count their blessings that can lead to avoid negative. That can lead to avoiding the negative and not dealing with conflicts. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad way to be, I suppose. It's not a bad way to like be more positive in life, because like just being negative all the time doesn't help anything either. Sitting around and like fucking complaining about shit all the time, that doesn't help anything. But also, as humans, we have our ups and downs, right? So yeah.
A few more bites, but that I'm satiated and I feel good, and then I'm just done. And anyway, I do not plan on eating out often because I think that I'm just more comfortable having full control over everything right now, and the only way to really ensure that is to eat at home. But I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed that I was able to find something that met my needs, and I love that I didn't sit there feeling deprived. Like I didn't feel bad at all. I wasn't like, man, well, that's not entirely true. So they have this salad. It's literally just a salad with like this ginger dressing, and I wanted it so bad and I couldn't have it, and so I just was scared. I need salad. I think my body just misses vegetables a lot, but it wasn't like I don't know.
I think that's true. I do believe that that's true, though. I miss vegetables if I don't eat them. I don't eat a lot of vegetables, but I could never do something like carnivore. For the simple reason, like I like meat, but I could never do carnivore just because I couldn't just not eat vegetables and fruit and other types of fats. And I don't know if like long term. I think for some people carnivore can work long term, if they have certain diseases. But I think for even there's a lot of people that have been long-term carnivore. They are incorporating now, I think, carbs around workouts, especially if they're more into training and stuff, because it is just better. But yeah, obviously, it's a fairly new thing, so people don't know. But I think any diet that's like extreme is probably not healthy. Like anything really, anything that's extreme is extreme for a reason, and usually speaking, long-term, that's not good.
I felt so happy that they were enjoying their meal and that they were ordering different things, and my husband and her husband were having fun like manning the grill, and I just enjoyed catching up with my friend. And yeah, it was just a great visit, and I appreciate.
How do you feel on it? Do you like? Do you not? Do you ever? Do you have any carbs? Do you have things like fruits or like honey and stuff like that? I'm interested to see how you feel on it. Carnivore for 10 years. That's a long time as well, because it's like a fairly new thing, isn't it? Like new, like it's not diet fad. It's a lifestyle, obviously, but that's interesting. Collagen is really good and the skin glows. Yeah, I mean, like if it works, it works. It can be dangerous. Seems dangerous for colon health. I think from colon health, it doesn't really, because the problem that a lot of studies that come from the consumption of meat, again, is taken on like the general population, and the general population that eats meat eat things like hamburgers from McDonald's, which is obviously not quality meat. So I'm not. I think if you get like a lot of people that do carnivore, they tend to, from what I've seen anyway, they tend to be very focused on like really organic meats, like local organic meats, and that's kind of like part of the whole carnivore journey, as opposed to having like burgers from McDonald's, but just not having the patty. So not having the buns. I mean, so I think it's like the quality of your nutrition matters a lot as well. So yeah, no fruits and veggies, not fruit and vegan. That's crazy.
The
Fair enough.
difference. It's such a short window of time between my brother coming and
Ah,
my
yeah,
friend coming. The change in my body is
it's very good for people that have like autoimmune diseases and stuff like that, from what I understand. So it works with, like, it's like with any diet. I think if it works for you and you can adhere to it, or you're doing it for particular health reasons, then fine. It is what it is.
it amazes me. I mean, it also saddens me that it didn't take me long to go from working out all the time. I literally trained to run a marathon, and then 1 year later I'm like struggling to walk again, like not because of bones or like any legitimate reason, but because I have let myself get into a state where everything just hurts. So I don't know why I'm going down that, because I'm starting to beat myself up pretty bad, and I don't want to do that right now. I don't feel like that's very helpful, except that if you too do that, then know that we are not alone, and what you have done is done, and the only thing you can do, and the only thing I can do, is to do better right now going forward. And I just try to focus on that. And then I am so grateful to have this tool. I've had this weight loss surgery that has really changed a lot of things for me. Now, it's my understanding the things that feel so novel, like the big changes, aren't permanent. Like, I won't have the same level of restriction forever. I won't have, right now I'm eating such a limited groups of foods, and that isn't forever. So everything that I did before.
I think it's not necessarily a bad thing though, because like now she's being forced into a certain way of eating, and a certain dietary lifestyle, so to speak. And what do they say? It takes like 20 days to form habits or whatever it is. So once you're into that habit of eating certain foods all the time, you are forcefully, I guess, what's the word? Like, you're coming off the addiction, right? That's basically what I'm trying to say. Where, because even if she can, after a while, have whatever she wants to eat, because she's been eating certain foods for so long, and she's probably going to feel better with it, she's not going to crave them as much, just because she hasn't had it for such a long time.
As far as losing the weight, I know it took me 2 years to lose 100 pounds, but I did that eating healthy food groups, making good choices. I feel happy that I did that, and I know that I'm capable. I know how different it helps me feel. Like, when I am properly nourished, I know how much better I sleep and how much stronger I am when
I love a crunchy veggie, especially like carrot or like gherkin.
work out. And I imagine this will be no different. So right now, I'm definitely not eating very much at all.
90 days.
And I am not properly nourished. But as time progresses, that will even out, and I will be at a healthy weight, and my portions will be what they should be, as opposed to, like, I don't know how big your stomach has to be for you to be able to, like.
So I don't know how it works with this particular um weight loss surgery, but from what I understand, she will never be able to eat like large volumes unless she undoes the operation to some degree. I know you can stretch it and stuff. I don't know if you can with this particular one, but normally speaking, if you stick with the recommendations, most people that have had weight loss surgery, they can't really eat more than like 1,000 to 1,500 calories max, and that's like after years of having had the operation. So
Drink.
is ice cream work? Yeah, it fucking is. Absolutely. I love my ninja. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm filming I filmed the full day of eating the other day. I'm gonna try and edit and upload for later. And then I filmed over the weekend where the ninja that I made the creamy that I made in the full day of eating from last week. I have over the weekend, and yes, it is absolutely worth it. I like it, but it is pricey. But I reckon it's worth it. But it's more so if you're somebody that's like dieting, it's worth it for that. So if you're somebody that, I'm not a huge ice cream person, but I do like it because it's quite filling, and sometimes it is nice for if you have a bit of a sweet tooth, or it's like that time of the month or wherever it is. But so I don't have a creamy necessarily every single day, but I do always have some creamies, usually speaking, in my freezer. And yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. For when I do fancy having something like that, it's worth it. But it is pricey for sure. But the thing is, with the Ninja stuff, I have my Ninja blender, right? And I have had my blender for maybe like 4 years, something like that, I think, at least. And I've used the shit out of that, and it's still working. The only thing is that I've got a crack in the blender, the blender tub. I don't know what you call it, but the thing that the blender that you put the liquids in, right? That has got a crack in it, but otherwise it still works perfectly fine. So yes, Ninja products are expensive, but it will blend everything. It will crush ice like nothing. and you will have it for a really long time. So it's, yes, it is pricey, but it's not. I've bought cheaper blenders and they've broken much quicker. So something half the price, I wasn't able to get as much use out of. So yeah, for me it's worth it. But then obviously when I do things like prep and stuff, you look for low calorie alternatives. So if you're trying to lose weight, or you're like an ice cream freak and you really love ice creams, but you don't want to eat Ben and Jerry's because they're a lot of calories. So you want to have like yourself like a 200 calorie ice cream that's more filling as opposed to a 1,000 calorie one. Yeah, it's worth it.
As much water and eat and do all of the things that I was able to do, but it was not a tiny tummy. And I don't know if I ever would have felt full content fillings like I do now. And I don't know. I don't even know what I'm talking about right now. So I'm just grateful. I'm grateful to be where I'm at. And I am tired of eating high protein stuff, but I am grateful that I am able to, and that
I really notice it if I don't get enough protein in the day. I can go high carb, high fat, low fat, but protein, that's the one thing. This is why I find it amazing if people only eat like 100 grams. It's like, I don't understand how you can eat so little protein, but it's just diet, I suppose. I've been doing it for so long that I eat so much protein that my body just misses it when it doesn't have it.
I am getting my needs met, and that I feel the way that I feel. I feel like I'm babbling. So what else? What else can we talk about? So my friend came and it was just amazing. I loved already the changes and in my energy level and my physical abilities have changed. And I'm just grateful. Yeah. So this week I will be meeting with my dietitian, and I'm not sure what the next phase is.
I would eat more lean protein. Have like maybe a shake twice a day. If you can make a shake and you have pasteurized egg whites, use those. Look for like protein puddings or high protein yogurt or high protein cottage cheese or something like that. You can make snacks with that. Have that with fruits and berries or some nuts or whatever. You can get like flavor drops or like maybe What are you crying about, little girl? Hey, you need some attention. Sorry, my Rosie here just needs some attention. So yeah, there's ways you can do it. I wouldn't go overboard with the protein powder though, but it's if you find pasteurized egg whites, you can make protein pancakes. So yeah, just try and have a source of protein with a few times a day. You should be okay.
And I'm excited to find out. I do like that. I like that. I know some people are given like the plan for all time, and I think
I think she wants to come for a cuddle. 1 second. Do you want to come for a cuddle? Huh? Come on then. Your rose are joining us. Princess, can we get some roses in the chat? You want to say hi to the people? Look at her there. Can you see them?
part of me would have preferred that, but not having that has been good because it's allowed me to just focus on right now. I'm not jumping the gun. And sure, like when I was going from liquids to soft foods, like I was excited to go to puree foods. Like I just was ready to not have protein shakes because it was starting to make me feel nauseous. But I like not having the information to skip ahead, even in my mind. Like I don't know what the 6-week appointment with the dietitian is going to reveal and what the next part of eating for me is going to look like. But I know that it'll be good, and we'll evaluate what I've been doing, and I'm excited about that. I am interested for 3 months out.
Yeah, I've been having a lot more stuff like that as well. I've been like eating half a watermelon, like not a giant watermelon, like a mini watermelon a day, lots of fruits and stuff like that. Paula gifted memberships. Thank you so much. I can't see who you gifted it to, but thank you so much. I would normally look on my phone, but I've got my Rosie in my arms, I'm afraid. But thank you so much. And whoever got memberships, please, well, everybody, please say thank you to Paolo. And yeah, let's put some bonitas and roses in the chat for Vanessa and Rosie is in the chat for Paolo. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Do a nutrition panel, like blood work again. So I'm looking forward to that in a few months. But I also have my DEXA scan coming up. And what else do I have? So I'll be getting the DEXA scan. I'm meeting with my dietitian. I'll be going back to work. Booked a scuba diving trip for my husband and I to go on. And that was one of the questions I asked my surgeon pre-surgery. It was not like an important question to me. It was an important question to me because I love to scuba dive. It had no bearing on my decision. Like, I love scuba diving. I would never scuba dive again if that's what I needed to do. Like, I mean, having the surgery, people sometimes lose their teeth and they lose their hair, and the hair comes back, but your teeth doesn't come back. Like, that's not good grammar. Your teeth does not come back. I don't know. But people have like malnutrition issues, and there's so many potential complications. And I've read about a lot of them. I've heard stories from other.
Yeah, I can see how malnutrition could be an issue if you're under eating, but I would imagine that they recommend you take vitamins and stuff, no? That's like malnutrition. It can be, if you can't get it through nutrition because you're eating too little calories, surely that's quite easy to manage with pills, like multivitamins and like other supplements that are good for general health. For example, if you're worried about your hair, you could take collagen. There's other things you can take. There's many things you can take for many different problems. So this is what I do. I take quite a lot of different. You're getting a bit hot, sweetie. Sorry, let me just put it back. 1 second. She's a little bit hot. Let me go. There's many things you can take to to ensure you stay internally healthy, or you hit your micronutrients and your mineral goals, etc. So I take a lot of things like Q10. I take citrus bergamot. I take things like milk thistle, dandelion root. There's a lot of things that I take to make sure that my organs stay healthy. So yeah, I'm addicted to soup. Soup is nice. You should try make a tarator. A tarator is a Bulgarian yogurt soup. It's a bit like a tzatziki, and it's delicious, but it's cold. It's a cold yogurt soup, but it's so good and perfect for this hot weather. Um, I just want to say thank you for being an inspiration. Thank you for being a member for 28 months. I appreciate it, Felicia. And Banitsa, somebody saying here what Banitsa is. So I still don't know what Banitsa is. Basically, it's a pastry that's stuffed with a feta-like cheese, yogurt, and eggs. And they oven fry it. They put it in the oven, and it's just like basically a cheese pastry, but it's amazing. And it's a Bulgarian breakfast food, but it's so good. It's so delicious. I love it.
People,
Yeah.
my bariatric team went over different scenarios and potential things that could happen, and yet they still felt strongly this was the best surgery for me because of the amount of weight that you lose with this one. So like the rate of weight loss for the other ones are smaller than this one. This one typically yields the biggest weight loss percentage, and none of them are caps. Like you can lose more than what the weight loss surgery study shows that you could. You can lose less, but anyway, all of this to say,
Yes, it's very
coming to
much
this
like a brewer.
choice was not easy, and I love my hair. I know I made a video one time about getting a haircut and talked about like how I am about my hair, and I don't know. I felt like that's just a big sign to me. Like if I'm willing to like lose hair, I don't know. I'm gonna stop because I don't feel like I'm making a good point, and I feel like I'm just rambling. I love my hair.
Yeah, I mean she does have really nice hair, so I will be upset too if I lost it. But you can get hair extensions, I suppose. And also having nice hair but being overweight and unhealthy, or having not so nice hair and being healthy, it's I would rather have maybe less nice hair but be otherwise healthy than have beautiful hair and be unhealthy. But it's you know it's just how you have to think about it. But she does have really nice hair, so I can understand. It's one of those things that's like, it'll be sad if you start losing hair, but it is what it is. And like I said, there's so many vitamins and supplements you can take to prevent that. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Hair and my overall health and is more important to me than my hair. Hopefully I do a good enough job at managing my supplements, like my vitamins, and eating the things that I'm supposed to be eating so that I don't lose a lot of hair and I don't let my teeth rot out. I don't know if people's teeth, I don't know what happens to people's teeth. I just know that's something that happens. If you're thinking about getting the surgery, don't listen to anything I say. Go to a medical professional and talk to your doctor. And if you don't get good vibes from that doctor, then go to a different doctor. But do not take advice from people online about what you should do medically.
Oh no, obviously not. Like I think you should talk to your doctor, especially if you had something like an operation. But I'm just saying that there is things you can take in terms of supplementation to prevent hair loss and stuff like that. So there's many supplements out there for different things.
For you.
Siobhan Seymour has been a member for 22 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And she won't get scurvy. The teeth falling out sounds like scurvy. Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of hard, isn't it? Kind of hard in this day and age to get scurvy. I think so. Lily does stuff. Member for 41 months. She's psyching herself out reading these studies. Yeah. Cozy days is fashionably late. Yeah, I think this is one of those things. So I think it's also normal in a way. I can understand. Like it is a serious operation. I just find I can understand why she would be concerned, because I think it's a really normal concern to have because it's an operation. So to have certain fears around that makes perfect sense. But I just find it I find it interesting how people are not worried about all of these things when they're eating really unhealthy and living a really unhealthy lifestyle, because all of that can also lead to scurvy and hair loss, etc., etc. So understand it. It's just that I just don't understand. I find it interesting. Let me just put it out. I find it interesting how these sort of health problems or concerns were not a concern when people were overweight. If that makes sense. But it makes sense. It makes sense that that he would be afraid of certain things after an operation. I would be. Why not? It's normal. You guys know your Turkish food. Turkish food is the best. I love Turkish food.
Go with your full history to your medical professional. Anyway, I don't know where that came from, but do that. Don't take anything I say as guidance on what you should do for you. I can only say what I've chosen to do for me and what I was encouraged to do for me by people who have my full medical history. And like when you the cool thing about the military hospitals is that though we've moved around, like they can see every time I've gone to the doctor for anything. And so I appreciate that. And so anyway, I'm excited for this week. And last week I weighed 283 pounds. This week I weighed in at 278.2. So I have lost 4.8.
So she's lost almost 40 pounds, 36.5 pounds since the surgery. That's really good. I think, like, it's, to be honest, like, it's not super visible in her face, but when she did the side-by-side pictures, you could really tell. I think you can definitely tell. I think it's just for some reason her face is not quite catching up in the same way, which is unusual because most people do seem to, when they lose weight, they gain and lose in the weight. They gain and lose their weight in the face quicker. But when she did the side by sides, I could tell for sure. Like I wouldn't just say something for the sake of saying it.
Pounds, and I am so happy to just continue to progress. I imagine like all of my movement helped with that, and so yeah. I'm just gonna keep doing it. I'm just gonna keep moving. I'm definitely feeling more energetic this week, and I don't know if that's because I moved so much, or if it's that I'm excited about things to come, or like a little bit of both.
Yes.
I have
well, they put like the whole mint leaves and stuff in it.
Almost read 20 books this month, so I'm just ready. I'm ready to go back to work. It's a lot of books. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I'm ready. And I also
I can imagine also, like, especially because with the schedule she's on, where she has to eat pretty much every hour, not being able to, I don't know, like, it's okay to have like a day off here and there, but I don't know if I could just not work for several weeks straight. No, I'm just not that kind of person. I think people have different mentalities and personalities and stuff like that. But yeah, having a few days off, great. Several weeks, I kind of get, I don't know, wouldn't know what to do with myself. I think even if I was to like win a lot of money, I would still do something to keep myself busy because I like to, I don't know, I just like to keep busy basically and do things.
So after I recorded my 5th week update video last week, the next day I was able to record my, it's already gone live before you're seeing this, way before you're seeing this video, but I got weight loss surgery video, and that felt very hard to record, but I recorded it, and I'm sure I didn't say all the things that I needed to say, but I tried, and I'm sure I left lots of half thoughts on that video. Haven't edited it yet, but if you have any questions, then just drop them in the comments below. I'm definitely nervous to edit it, and I'm nervous to share it, but I'm ready, I think, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful to be where I'm at. So grateful that I got to spend time with my friend, and
yeah, her weight loss is mostly in her abdomen, for sure.
I feel really happy right now. I think it just does something really good for my heart to see my family, and my friend Shantae's family. So anyway, I'm excited to share all of the things when I do my update video next week. And after this video, then I will just be doing a weigh-in video once a week. So I think until this video goes live, it will be like 2 videos a week. So it'll be like,
yeah, I think she's overthinking it a little bit also. And I think it's also because she's not talking to her dietitian. And I think, I don't know, maybe that's like, maybe this is something that if she has a psychiatrist or a psychologist or somebody that she needs to talk to, maybe she feels like, she was saying that she feels like she is a burden. But obviously these people are there to help you for a reason. So if she feels like she's overthinking things, she has a team of people there to talk to that are more than willing, I would assume, to help her. So, she should talk to them, and then it wouldn't be so, a lot of these things wouldn't be so concerning and worrying. But she's not doing that for whatever reason. And maybe that's a religious thing. Maybe that's just a her thing, that she doesn't want to feel like she's bothering people. And if that's the case, then obviously, like, part of like the whole thing is like you have to talk to somebody, which maybe she is. We don't know because she doesn't talk about it. But yeah.
week 1 on Monday and week 2 on Thursday. But if you're watching this video with me now, then it should be at the point where we'll have this video today, and then Thursday I think I might do a Q&A video, which I will have already posted on my channel that I will be doing. And but if you have questions, then I'll do another video in the future, so just drop them down below. I love you so much, and I'm grateful for you. Thank you for all of your prayers, your thoughts, your encouragement through the past few years. I am so grateful for your stories and your love, and thanks for being with me now. And I look forward to talking to you in the next one. If you're new here and you'd like to subscribe and follow along, click the subscribe button and ding the bell so you'll be notified.
All right, so I'm gonna stop sharing this, and basically the big ears is trying to tell me something. And that's because it's come. Normally speaking, I give them a little walk around this time because it's hot in the daytime, so they only get little walks in the daytime. A big one in the morning, a bit slightly bigger one in the evening. Well, Daisy always gets a big one in the morning because she's otherwise unbearable. She has too much energy. Rosie sometimes get a bigger one in the morning, but I think she's trying to tell me that she needs to go for a pee pee. She needs to go for pee pee. They need to go for pee pee, guys. So I'm glad that my dogs tell me these things and that they don't just go in the house. No, they only do it if if they're sick, or yeah, that's basically it. So anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for being here, guys. AM, I think you were gifted a membership by Paolo. He was gifting memberships earlier, so thank you. So yeah, thank you guys for having been here. I appreciate it. Let's insert a insert a I don't know what the rosy emoji from Argy Bargy. I don't know what emoji today. Let me try and think. A coffee. Let's do a coffee emoji. Yes, coffee emoji. And be sure to like the live stream on the way out. And thank you. I appreciate everybody for having been here. I'm going to try and also edit a vlog that might go up later today. If not, it'll go up tomorrow. But yeah, thank you so much. And enjoy the rest of your week. Or enjoy your week. It's only just started. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Bye.